With Gojo being introduced to the anime community with the wild success of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, and him having an extremely overpowered ability with the limitless curse technique and his various applications of it, he, like many others before him, got thrown into the "can he beat Goku" conversations. There are soldiers on both sides of this argument, with the majority of people saying of course he can't beat Goku, and others stronger than Goku, and thinks either Goku just can't touch him due to his infinity, or he would overwhelm Goku with his domain expansion Infinite Void. So in order to avoid attacking this from a standpoint that no one really cares about infinity, and can Goku survive in the unlimited void? Since, just being honest, if he does, Gojo is cooked without a way to actually win. Before we begin, I'd like to ask if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, as I greatly appreciate it. Let's start by explaining Gojo's curse technique, or rather the neutral application of it being his infinity. To put these in the tortoise paradox. This can be confusing and a bit hard to wrap your head around because it's a paradox and it deals with denying motion and the infinite numbers between whole numbers. In this paradox, Achilles and the tortoise are set to compete in a foot race wherein the tortoise is given a head start. After Achilles starts to move in an attempt to pass the tortoise, he's first going to have to cover the distance that the tortoise had already moved. In the time it takes Achilles to do this, the tortoise would already have moved another distance away from that point. So Achilles would then have to cover that distance as well, which gives the tortoise time to cover even more distance. Logically, this would go on forever, and no matter how small the gap got, Achilles would still have to cover the distance the tortoise made while he makes even more distance. Eventually, this would look like the two of them are not even moving. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a paradox that denies motion entirely, by implying that to get from point A to point B, you have to take an infinite number of steps, since theoretically you could divide a finite number an infinite amount of times. This is a paradox after all, but even within the paradox, there is a beginning point and a hypothetical endpoint. On some level, this paradox could imply that all of us have some level of infinite speed, since we cross these hypothetical infinite distances every time we get up to go to the bathroom or slap someone we don't like. This is what Gojo's limitless curse technique does. He makes this paradox a reality and is able to stop his opponents or objects from reaching him. This confusion has led a lot of people astray, thinking that Gojo creates an infinite amount of space around him, when that's simply not true. Taking into account is like the convergent infinite number that appears in Achilles and the tortoise brought to reality. However, the is fictitious and not real. Let's look at Gojo explain his technique a bit. My technique involves the convergence of an infinite series. Things that approach me slow down. Misunderstanding this is fine. It's a rather complicated sentence that can be hard to wrap your head around. Since he says it's a convergence of an infinite series, you'd think this would obviously mean infinite space. But this is only simulated through math. In other words, this could imply me and everyone watching this video has some level of infinite speed, like I said earlier, as when we move to type on a keyboard, walk to the bathroom, or even punch someone, the distance we travel could be divided infinitely and we'd have to cross it, and we do every single time. If we're walking 2 feet forwards or backwards, then in between 1 and 2 feet are an infinite amount of numbers, like 1.9 repeating. You could always add another 9 on the back of 1.9 feet and it would never reach 2 feet. And that's exactly what Gojo does with this curse technique. In other words, think of infinity as a finite barrier with the ability to divide infinitely, therefore infinite amount of distance. Down in the Shibuya train station in chapter 85, Gojo tells Jogo and Hanami that if they plan on trying to neutralize his infinity with their domain amplification, he'll simply counter by strengthening his curse technique, and we see that when he does this, the finite barrier grows larger in size until it crushes Hanami against the wall. To sum this up as best I can, Gojo creates a simulated infinity by making a paradox real within a certain space close to him. The question is, what can Goku do to get past this extremely overpowered technique? Dragon Ball is no stranger to space-time manipulation, but let's come at this from a more interesting angle before we get into that. This has to do with the output of curse techniques and the way to neutralize them. There are a few layers to this, and I'm going to cover every layer, so I recommend waiting until the point is finished before commenting about it. In the main series of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's told to us numerous times that higher output techniques like domain expansion and domain amplification can bypass or neutralize Gojo's limitless. Gojo himself says this in his fight. Earlier, Gojo mentions that domain amplification is like simple domain, and if you think of barrier techniques as boxes or prisons that trap their target, then domain amplification is as if you're being surrounded by water. Maybe it's a similar feeling to when you initially push back against a domain. The chances of an attack missing will increase, but it will always neutralize the technique, and with that method, he was now vulnerable to attacks. This is important not only because of what was mentioned earlier about the Limitless being low output, but way earlier in the manga during his first fight with Jogo, when Jogo asked if, since they're in his more potent domain, if his attacks will now reach Gojo, and Gojo confirms this and responds with yes. So we know domains neutralize curse techniques, but this more so tells us the method of how they do that, and it's via overpowering the output of the technique. An immediate response, but that isn't implied at all. What's stated is, of course, that they do these things. I'm simply giving the method by which it's implied they accomplish it. In other words, if Goku hits Infinity really hard with a Ki Punch or Kamehameha Wave, it should break straight through it given this logic. There are a bit more examples of this as well. A couple more examples in the Sukuna vs Gojo fight are Gojo using Simple Domain, but then it being confirmed that compared to the output of a regular domain, a Simple Domain will only buy time. And then later, when Gojo uses Falling Blossom in Motion, it's confirmed that nothing can really match the giant output of a domain. This is why inside Sukuna's domain, Gojo can use blue and red, but the neutral Limitless gets neutralized and the sure hit can affect him. Now, I did say I'd give other ways to look at this, and I will. It's possible that even if this argument is true, it might just be a cursed energy versus cursed energy thing that can overpower the output, not necessarily just an overall stronger technique. Meaning, even though Goku's Kamehameha should be stronger than Jogo's domain amplification, it wouldn't be able to do the same thing since it's not cursed energy, where you make Ki and cursed energy equal for the sake of a battle. Or you can say that it's only a cursed energy thing and you're not willing to do verse equalization, so this method wouldn't work. This works because it keeps Infinity still as a broken hex within the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, as no character can straight overpower Gojo's Limitless without domain expansion or amplification, and only implies in a cross-verse setting that something like this would be put up against other characters outside of Jujutsu Kaisen. So 2. Not using the verse equalization. 3. Saying Goku could overpower Infinity with greater force due to higher output. Or 4. Say I'm wrong about this and move on to the second way I think Gojo could get past Infinity. For the record, I'm not saying anything that can match or be slightly higher than Gojo's Limitless output could negate it. The specific parameters for that, or how much more output you need to have, isn't specified in the argument. However, I know Goku should reach the requirements because Goku is stronger than Gojo, and Gojo is stronger than Jogo, who could overcome this output requirement with his domain. Potential evidence for this resides in Gojo vs Sukuna, where Gojo actually hits himself with his own purple and it bypasses Infinity. Someone could easily argue Gojo just didn't have his Infinity on, since after all, it was adapted to by that point. But I think it makes more sense for him to have it on in that instance, considering he's planning on blowing himself up and doesn't know if he's gonna unalive from this, and was surprised by the results. But like I said, that's only potentially evidence to support the claim. Let's move on to Goku and Dragon Ball. Like I mentioned earlier, Dragon Ball is no stranger to spatial manipulation. One of the more blatant examples of spatial manipulation, or defiance, in Dragon Ball is when Super Buu and Gotenks literally scream their way out of the hyperbolic time chamber using their Ki knees proof for this, but it's stated to be a separate dimension and that time moves differently there. The only connection between the two dimensions is this door that, when destroyed, locks the person inside the time chamber. Buu blows a hole between these dimensions in order to escape, and like I mentioned earlier, Gotenks follows after entering Super Saiyan 3. This isn't a hacks or anything like that either. Piccolo states that Majin Buu blew a hole through the dimensional barrier with just his Ki, a far higher scale, and starts breaking down the dimensional barriers in the real world to crush the entire universe under alternate dimensions. That doesn't mean the manga doesn't have its own consistency for this though. After going into Super Saiyan 3, Goku's Ki starts to also cross dimensional barriers and reach the Kaioshin realm, a feat Kibito believes to be unbelievable. This map of the universe of Dragon Ball does prove the Kaioshin realm is not within the main universe. Akira Toriyama has gone on to say this about the universe itself. It's something I came up with so both I and the readers would be able to easily grasp it. The big ball in the center is the world known as this world and the afterlife, and the one who watches over it from the outside is Kaioshin. That's the little planet over there on the left. This confirms, like I said, that Kaioshin's realm is complete map was originally background information that I drew at the request of the anime people, but I took this opportunity to add the Kaioshin world, which was not included in the map before it's completed. in a world where the Kaioshin, the highest ranking beings among the Kaio, live. Its scope is about 1/10 of the combined space of the world beyond and the living world, endlessly revolving around the circumference of the world beyond. Kaioshin is a solitary planet in the Kaio realm, and around it there are numerous tiny suns. The only people in the Kaioshin realm evidence, since it confirms the Kaioshin realm is separate once again by saying there are only 2 people who live in it and there is only 1 planet. Some people might try and call contradiction because the way the DB universes look is seemingly retconned in Dragon Ball Super whenever Whis is explaining the 12 universes and their twin counterparts. However, this is likely just Whis' depiction for simplicity, as Dragon Ball Super Chapter 16 shows Universe 10 with the original Toriyama-like design of Universe 7, as seen here. Goku's ki crosses space-times as just a Super Saiyan 3, and this remains consistent as when Gohan powers up after Elder Kai awakens his powers, Super Buu is able to come on Super Anime, Goku is able to break through his separate time space, and we see Goku quite literally just breaking it. The final space breaking I want to talk about is Gogeta and Broly breaking into another dimension during their fight, and then breaking the dimension to go back to the other world. In reality, this is just more consistency that also gives us another way to break through infinity. If you target existence or space itself, you can get through it, which I guess isn't all too new. It kind of just validates the previous ways people thought you could break through infinity. But Goku can also target space with his attacks, as I've just made consistent through his ki traveling space times, weaker opponents breaking space, and his battle with Hit. With this evidence, you can simply argue that Goku's punches or Kamehameha waves would just get through Gojo's infinity as they are, as the barrier would simply be overpowered by higher levels of spatial manipulation. There is an argument to say Gojo's infinity works on an atomic level though, but this is likely only talking about his use of red, as after he uses it on this random curse spirit, Miguel says this is the limitless jujucation of the limitless technique, or more specifically a more powerful application of it. Gojo's curse technique Lapse, or blue, is an amplification of the limitless technique that creates a vacuum effect, while red is the limitless technique activated with positive energy and cursed energy, or just positive energy, to create a push effect. Even with this though, there are arguments for ki acting on an atomic level as well. It's stated that Mecha Frieza was reduced to atoms by Trunks, and Elder Kai tells Shin that getting close to Goku and Beerus' fight would lead his body to being disintegrated. Both of these could be interpreted as just sayings, but they could also be taken as a consistent jump between the 2 types of ki. If Trunks can atomize Frieza with normal ki, then Goku and Beerus with God ki being able to disintegrate you on a subatomic level, which is what the physics definite, his infinity works on an atomic level, but being generous to Dragon Ball, their ki works on the same level and even smaller in the God ki forms. Without being generous, only red works on this atomic level, and the statements from Dragon Ball are just figures of speech. For the absolute last point of the infinity section of this video, I've heard some people argue Goku would get stuck on infinity and then Gojo could just hit him like that with his domain or purple, but this just isn't true. While you can get stuck or sit on infinity, this doesn't happen to anyone of note when fighting Gojo. It doesn't have back away afterwards, and Mahito specifically does just that. Lastly, I want to talk about Goku vs Unlimited Void, because I think this is very simple. A lot of people surprisingly misunderstand how Unlimited Void works. They think being able to perceive tons of information makes you immune to the domain somehow, but that's not true. The way Unlimited Void works is by making your first action never end. The way this is best described is, say you're in A. Since the actions you try to take get repeated on you infinitely, you get stuck and can't move. You never get past the first point essentially. That being said, Unlimited Void would of course fry his brain. If Goku is in Ultra Instinct however, since he doesn't use his brain to fight and react to things, and instead his body parts all move and react on their own, the fact Goku's brain is getting fried wouldn't matter and he could still just beat down Gojo. In the end, Goku does have a few ways to argue he could bypass infinity that I find valid, as well as being able to resist Infinite Void in Ultra Instinct. So I'll say, unless you're being extremely generous to a point I'd consider just biased for Gojo, Goku would win.